If you ever record with a 2-track beat, I'm going to show you some simple ways that you can instantly enhance the track and get an even bigger, more polished sound. Take a listen to the before and after of what we're going to do today. It goes from sort of dull and lifeless to super exciting and polished, and that's what I'm going to walk you through step by step in this video. Before we get started, it's important to note that you're always going to have the most control if you have the individual tracks or the stems, but we all know that sometimes the 2-track is all you have and you have to make that work, and that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Follow along with your own 2 tracks if you have one that you're working on. So we're going to be using Xrack Pro. We're going to start by shaping the tone of the beat. Listen closely to the lows and highs, and we're really going to emphasize them both a bit to sweeten things up. And we switched over to this present mode, which has some really colorful low and high shapes to it. And they're especially great for bringing up a solid fat low end and also adding some excitement in the high mids and highs. Listen before and after the tone shaping we did, and listen to the way it just wakes up the mix without sounding overly processed. Just a little bit of Air Plus goes a long way. We want to be very careful not to overdo it, but just a touch can help add some shine to a dull mix. Next, let's add some saturation. We're going to try some console saturation, and the point is to fatten up and round off those transients very subtly in order to give them a thicker sound. And the A strip did just that. It sounds really nice and fat and punchy on those drums and transients. Next, we're going to apply some glue compression, and this is going to glue all the elements of the mix together. A lot of times with 2 tracks, they can be really drum heavy, which is nice and punchy and sounds great in the studio, but for the final mix, you want to bring in some of those softer elements to the forefront a bit more. And a good glue compressor like this can do a great job of bringing all those elements together and sitting them in the same space. So those strings, some of those reverse sounds, they're starting to blend a lot better with the drums, and overall it's coming together really nicely. So now let's take a look at the Maximize module, and this is going to help us add dimension to the mix. OTT is amazing at adding life and excitement and just overall sweetness to the sound, but sometimes it can be a bit too much in the high end if it starts to hiss a little bit. So luckily we can just pull down the high band amount with these controls in Xrack Pro. So we're getting exactly how much hype we want in the highs without overdoing it. We're also using the hard clipper, which is going to be a little bit punchier, and we're pushing up the max slider just slightly for some overall limiting. So take a listen before and after Xrack Pro on this 2-track beat. It's a massive transformation. We took a rather dull and kind of distant sounding 2-track beat, and we were able to add some instant life and excitement and hype to it. And the best part is that we did it so quickly with Xrack Pro. It really streamlined your workflow. You've also got a ton of creative freedom to get all different types of sounds and flavors. This beat needed some help in these areas to fill it out, to give it that big, exciting sound. But sometimes you might need a lot more lows or maybe a lot more compression. It's all super easy to dial in with Xrack Pro, no matter what your track needs. So try this out next time you're recording to a 2-track beat and you want to give it some extra polish and excitement. If you learned something from this tutorial, give it a like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. As always, happy mixing.